Good morning dear students, welcome back to our CLE Society's KK CBSE school. So dear students, I hope you all are absolutely fine and doing well at your home. Dear students, in last class we have introduced the concept of matters. So which is our first chapter, that is the matter in our surrounding. Matter is nothing but anything which occupies space and volume is called as the matter. So dear students, the particle nature of matter, when we are discussing the particle nature of matter, then how you are going to be define the concept, that is matter has a mass and occupies space. Anything that occupies mass and space is called as a matter. Whereas when we are talking about the particles of matter, then it is composed of tiny particles called atoms. Means each and every component of the matter is having the tiny particle which is called as the atoms. Okay, so it is composed of tiny particles called atoms. Now when we are talking about the states of a matter, that is solid, liquid and the gas, is it? So you can see in this image the solid particles is tightly packed. This is the tightly packed, where this liquid, it is a partially attached with each other. It is partially attached with each other, or the molecules are freely in nature, okay, and it is attached in a partially manner. Whereas when we are talking about the gas, what happens in the gas? The molecules are freely in nature. The molecules are freely in nature. So these are the states of the matter. So when we are talking about the defining phases of the matter, then same concept that you have to be keep in your mind when we are talking about the solid particles. The particles are connectedly attached with each other in a very strong intramolecular force. When we are talking about the liquid, the molecules are partially attached with each other. They are partially attached with each other. It means it's having some space. Okay, the molecules having some intramolecular space, whereas gas is having the large number of phase. So here the space is large number, okay, so large in size. Okay, so here in this manner we can differentiate the solid, liquid and the gas. So when we are talking about the solids, it's have the strong intramolecular force. So as I told you, it's having the strong intramolecular force, and liquid that weak intramolecular force, and gas is having the very weak intramolecular force. Whereas the solid having the very less intramolecular space. Means if you want to dissolve anything in solid, it is highly difficult, is it? It is highly difficult. So what happened? It's having the very less intramolecular space, whereas in the liquid it's having the large intramolecular space. So you can take any kind of the example like dissolving of salt into the water, dissolving of sugar into the water. So you can take the example in this thing. So that's why the liquid is having the large intramolecular space. Gas is having the very large intramolecular space because the particles are freely in nature. Whereas solids having the definite shape and the volume. Solids having the definite shape and the volume, whereas liquid do not have a definite shape but have a definite volume. So dear students, you can take a simple example about the water or oil. If you are transferring these things into the different containers, then what happen? It going to be takes place the same container. What is that? Okay, so it's having the not having the definite shape but having the different volume. Gas, it's having the no definite shape and the volume. So here it's having the high density. It's having the high density. Whereas liquid is having the density as a low, and gas having the very low density. Whereas solids, it cannot be a compressed. Okay, it cannot be a compressed, whereas liquids can be compressed. Compressed means just when you are going to press it, then what happen, it will be compressed? No, it will not going to be compressed. But liquid, it can be compressed. So if you are taking the rubber balloon, then if you want to fill into in the rubber balloon just water, then you can just compress it. Whereas gases can be highly compressed. So you can take an example about the CNG, that is the compressed natural gas, which we are using in our home. So this is one of the beautiful example about the compressing nature of the gaseous matter. Now when we are talking about the physical nature of the matter, then here totally 4 points are there. Matter is made up of particles. The particles of matters are very tiny, and the particles of matters have space between them. The particles of matter are continuously moving, and the particles of matter attract with each other. Okay, so here totally how many points are there? Totally 4 points are there. So matter is made up of which particle? Matter is made up of tiny particles. Okay, matter is made up of tiny particles, and in that spaces are there. Okay, so for that sake we have to go for one activity, that take some water in a beaker and note in its level, dissolve some salt or sugar in it. Okay, so here this is one of the beaker, okay, which having the around 100 ml size, and fill it half. Then what happen, add here some amount of sugar or water. Whether after adding the sugar or salt, is it possible to change the volume? No, because the salt or sugar, it will going to be dissolved into the water. So the volume does not change. Why? Because this is the particles of the water get into the space between the particles of water, and this shows that matter is made up of particles. Okay, the matter is made up of particles which going to be dissolved into the liquid or water. Or you can just imagine that how tiny it is, because it cannot be see in our naked eyes. Okay, so this is the physical nature of matter. So here the next concept, that is the particles of matters are very tiny. Already we have discussed that particles of matters are very tiny, that we cannot see by our naked eye. So this is another activity to understand this thing. So dissolve 2 to 3 crystal of potassium permanganate. Okay, this is the potassium permanganate solid. Okay, potassium permanganate, or you can write as a KMNO4. KMNO4. So permanganate in 100 ml of water in a beaker, and take 10 ml of this solution and dissolve in 100 ml of water. So dear students, here one series we have to follow to understand this activity. You have to first take as potassium permanganate solution about 100 ml, and you have to be remove it from the first beaker as a 10 ml. Then again what you have to do, you have to add it in another 100 ml beaker which is containing water itself. Then you have to be again remove 10 ml of water from the second beaker. Let's do one thing, we will put as a number 1 2 3 4, so it's better to understand 1 2 3 4. Okay, so from 1 you have to take a 110 ml of water, then you have to be add it, then again take a 10 ml of water and add it into third number of 100 ml of water, then again remove 10 ml of water from the third beaker and go for the next beaker. So this is the series we have to follow. We have to add the water, remove the solution, add the water, remove the solution. So in this way, what happened, what is the conclusion of this thing, that if you are repeating this process 5 to 6 times, then this shows that a few crystals of potassium permanganates can color a large volume of water, because these are the millions of tiny particles in each crystals. Is it? Because these are the millions of tiny particles in each crystal. So this is the main purpose to show that activity, that particles of matters are very tiny, as well as there are millions of tiny particles in each crystal. Okay, so this is our another activity to understand this thing. Now the particles of matters are too small to be imagined. So you cannot see by your naked eyes whether it is possible to see there. No, it is not possible. So here same experiment which it is given in your textbook. So estimating how small are particles of matter with where every dilution through the color becomes light and it is still visible. Okay, so you can see that when the solution is going to be add another 100 ml of water, another 100 ml of water, removing, adding, removing, adding, but also the color is visible. So it shows that particles of matters are too small and it's to be imagined. Okay, so dear students, here another thing we have to be understand by this question, whether the solid particles are easy to break it. Okay, so it depends upon the matter. Let's do this activity. So here this man wants to break this iron ball, and later on what happened, this iron ball, it cannot be break by the hammering. Okay, but if you are going to do the same activity onto the chalk piece, then what happened, whether it going to be break it, yes, easily you can break it by your hand you can break it. So it will going to be break this chalk piece. Okay, so here dear students, when we are particles of matters attract each other, then what happen, you have to be understand this concept by doing the activity. Okay, so just keep in your mind that activity, we will going to give here conclusion. So take an iron nail, a piece of chalk, already we have taken the chalk, and a rubber band. Rubber band means any kind of the rubber band you can take. Try to break it by the hammering, cutting or stretching. So cutting for the rubber, hammering for the iron nail, and the cutting for the chalk. So these three things we have to do. So it is more easier to break the chalk, less easier to break the rubber band, and difficult to break the iron nail. So this is because the particles of the iron nails are held together with greater force than is the rubber band or chalk. So here suppose this is the particles of solid, that is the made up of iron. So if such type of structure is there, then it is highly difficult to break it. When the structure means the chalk piece, it is consisting same number of solid particle itself, matter particle itself, but it is hard to break it, So what happens, it is the little bit getting force to break it. Okay, then next is the last one, rubber band. So it can be stretched, but compared to iron nail and chalk piece, we need more energy for which, for the iron nail. So what happens, here we need energy to break it. So this is the main concept, that we need energy to break it. So that's why we can get the conclusion that particles of the matters attract each other. Okay, so dear students, I hope you have enjoyed the class and you have completed the concept related to this activity. So dear students, just recall all the things and take down all the points, because it is very important for your examination purpose. Because when you have to habit to solve the reasoning question, then you will get a solution for all the questions. Okay dear students, I hope you all are fine and stay safe at your home. Take care. Bye bye.